Good day, everyone. So for today, we will be presenting our final project about loan application system using knife-based algorithm. First, let us have an overview what this project is all about. This project is about a loan application system that automates the approval or rejection of a loan request based on the applicant data. The system will feature a user-friendly interface where applicants can input personal and financial information such as amount, loan duration, status, and information of the applicant. It also shows if their loans are still active or pending. Moreover, it also shows how it sorts the amount of the loans based on the lowest to highest and dates based on the oldest to the newest loans.
Our loaning application is designed to predict whether a loan applicant should be approved or rejected. To make this prediction, we use naive Bayes classification algorithm, supported by two key algorithms, which are selection sort and binary search. These algorithms work together to improve accuracy and efficiency of the application. The first algorithm is the naive Bayes. How it is used in our application. Naive Bayes is a probability-based classification algorithm that it used in machine learning to make prediction. We use naive Bayes to predict whether a loan applicant should be approved or rejected. The model takes in input features like income, employment status, credit score, and previous loan history. Based on training data, it calculates the probability of loan approval or rejection and chooses the most likely outcome. The advantages of naive Bayes is it is simple and fast to implement. It works well with small and medium-sized dataset. It is effective even with incomplete data. It is suitable for real-time prediction. The disadvantages are it assumes independence between features, which is not always realistic, may perform poorly, and the features are highly correlated, doesn't always give probabilities that are easy to interpret. The next algorithm that we use is the selection sort. How it is used in our application. We use selection sort to sort features values such as incomes or credit score. This is done before we use binary search so that the data is properly organized and ready for fast searching. The advantages of selection sort are it is very simple and easy to code. It does not require extra memory and place sorting, useful for teaching and small scale sorting tasks. The disadvantages are slow for large dataset, not suitable for real-time or repeated sorting operations. It is less efficient than sorting algorithms like merge, sort, or quick sorts. The last algorithm that we use is the binary search. So how it is used in our application? We use binary search to quickly find specific values in sorted datasets, such as locating a particular income, credit score, or other numeric features. It supports faster matching during the prediction of case or when referencing past applicant records. The advantages of binary search is it is very fast, it is ideal for large datasets that are already sorted, it's great for repeated searches in structured data. The disadvantages are it is only work on sorted data, it requires extra effort to sort data beforehand, and the last one is slightly more complex than linear search. So this combination allow our loaning application to be accurate in its prediction, efficient in its processing, and reliable in handling real-world loan data.
So now, let us dive into the codes that made our loan application system possible. First is the admin interface. This C-sharp code is for a Windows Form application named Admin Interface used to manage loan application. It includes features for viewing loan applications, predicting loan approval using knife base, approving or rejecting loans, viewing user-specific loans, and searching users by name. Here are some core functionalities of the code. First is the loan application. Okay. Here is it populates the data grid view with pending applications. Moreover, there is a clickable label such as label 1 click, label 2 click, and label 3 click, where it filters loans by status of pending, approved, or reject. Next is the constructor of get loans from dataset and display loans. This display a visual summary of all loans tied to a specific user. Next is the loan prediction using knife base. By clicking or double-clicking the prediction column, the app loads the selected loan application data. It uses a knife-based classifier of knife-based loan predictor to predict approval or rejection. Updates the prediction in the UI and database. Next is the manual approval and rejection. Clicking the application status column allows the admin to manually approve or reject an application via a form of approved or reject. Next is the constructor of binary search by full name, which the admin can search for a user by full name using a text box. A binary search is used on a sorted user list to collect the user efficiently. Once found, their loan data is fetched and displayed. So this is where our first algorithm of binary search is applied. It is applied here in the admin interface. The code handles database interactions through SQL queries and commands, fetching and displaying data dynamically. While functionally complete, the code contains some redundant logic between click and double-click events and could benefit from improved separation of concerns for better maintainability.
This is a login form for an admin. When the admin types their username and password, the program checks if it's correct by looking in a database. If it matches, it shows login successful. If not, it shows an error. So here are the step-by-step explanation of the code. We have the private string connection string. So this line tells the program where the database is located. The database contains the user infos like usernames and passwords. For the form constructor, we have the code public login, open and close parenthesis, initialize components, open and close parenthesis. This runs when the login forms opens. It all set up the bottom, text boxes, and the sign on the form. So when you click the sign in button, we have the code private void rounded button 1, click object sender. These codes run when the admin clicks the sign in button. So inside this block, we have the string username equal textbox1 text.stream, open and close parenthesis. Next is the string password equal textbox2.text.stream, open and close parenthesis. This gets the type username and password from the text boxes. So when we check if the fields are empty, we have the code if open and close parenthesis string that is null or empty, open and close parenthesis username, and string that is null or empty, open and close parenthesis password. If either box is empty, it shows a message asking the user to please enter the username and password. For the SQL query to check infos in database, we have the code string query equal select count from user where username equal at user username and user password equal at password. This line checks if the username and password exist in the user table of the database. If we run the SQL query, we have the code using open and close parenthesis SQL connection con equal new SQL connection open and close parenthesis connection string con dot open and close parenthesis. This starts the connection to the database. For the next code, we have using open and close parenthesis SQL command cmd equal new SQL command open and close parenthesis query.con cmd.parameters that add with value open and close parenthesis at username cmd.parameters that add value open and close parenthesis at password. This line send the entered values to the query securely. For the last one, we have the int user count equal open and close parenthesis int cmd that execute scalar. This checks how many users match the username and password. For the last one, we have the show login result. So we have the code if you open and close parenthesis user count is greater than 0, message box that show equals login successful. Else message box that show invalid username or password. So if at least one match is found, login is successful. If no match is found, it shows an error. For the last one, clicking the icon to go back. We have the code private void picture box to click object sender event arge. Form 1 user login equal new form 1. Open and close parenthesis. User login that show open and close parenthesis. This that hide. This runs when a picture icon is clicked. It opens the main login screen and hides the current admin form.
So now, let's talk about the user interface. This form is the user interface main, and the purpose is this form is the main dashboard after the login or the user. Fuck ulit! Ang ina, nakalimutan ko sasabihin ko. Makakat naman yan, di ba?
Oo, te, go,
Rinig ba
go.
ako?
Go lang. Sige, go lang.
Okay. So, let's talk about the user interface. This form is the main dashboard for the user after they log in it. For example, they welcome the user and they display the slideshow of images. And it provides the button to apply for a new loan or view loans history. So let's talk about the key features of the constructor or the main function for the user interface. And each initialized components or this initialize the form and set up an event for the user to restart the slideshow and a timer when the windows becomes active again. So next is the load event. So here is the user interface main load for the slideshow, and it calls the slideshow to start an image slideshow and displays a welcome message using the current usernames. For example, is the Macatuno, and they welcome Macatuno, something like that. And next is the slideshow function. So slideshow function, yes, that's one. And here is they loads all that JPG images for a specific folder and display them one by one using the timer every 3 seconds. And this shows images in picture box 1 using the size mode or stretch images. And next one is the timer for image slideshow. Timer image slideshow. As I said, it calls every 3 seconds and change the image to the next one in the array. And this loop backs for to the image when it reaches the ends. And lastly is the buttons and labels for the user interface form. And when they click the apply, it opens the form to apply for a new loan. And for these three, it opens the form to view past loans and closest to the current form. And that's all for the user interface. So now we will talk about the view loans user form. This form shows all the loan application made by the login users, and it allows sorting and display loans in a card style format or layout. So let's talk about the constructor and the public view public view loans user. It takes user ID as a parameter and loads user specific loans from the database when the form start. So the get loans stop. Yan. And get loans from database. It connects the it connects to the SQL server local DB, and runs a select query to get a loan details like loan ID, amount, and status, and also duration and submission date of the user. And next is the display loans function or the for each. We'll use for each for this. And as I said, it creates the loan panel and loan ID, amount, tenure, and submission date and status. For approved, it will show in, for example, green color and red for the rejected and white for the pending. As I said, it will show the color green if approved and red for rejected and white for pending. So let's talk about the sorting logic. User can choose how to sort by amount, by loan tenure, and submission date, with either ascending to low to high or the oldest, and descending to high to low or the newest. The sorting that's in each of the user customs selection sort algorithm is the one that will use for the algorithm. Next is the sort button. This provides it checks the which sorting options the user selected. For example, they calls appropriate sort function and display the newly sorted list of loans. And next is the back button. It it just go back to the user interface form. So in a summary, um, the view loans user is the show the loans a card in format and allow sorting, and it just organize loans by amount, tenure, or date.